Hi, I'm Ayushi, the founder of DGH, and if you're a university, school, or education brand struggling with inconsistent inquiries, rising campaign costs, or unpredictable admissions, we can help. We promise to deliver 2,000 plus high intent leads every month through our Lead2Campus framework, all done for you. And if Lead2Campus doesn't create measurable admissions momentum within the first 90 days, we'll continue to work until it does. Now you might be wondering how we are able to make such bold promise with minimal risk to your institution. It's because we believe in the quality of our system, positioning frameworks, and campaign execution so much that we are willing to stand behind the results. And because we've already implemented this for universities and educational institutions, generating massive visibility, stronger engagement, and consistent student inquiries. Take a look. For a private university in Delhi, we generated 1900 plus high quality leads in just 20 days. For another university who launched an online program, we helped them create 6,800 plus high quality leads within 30 days. These results are driven through three-phase Lead2Campus framework. Now, most institutions make this mistake. They believe students only begin paying attention during admission season. But psychologically, students' decision making starts months earlier. Students are constantly exposed to universities through content, ads, social media, peer discussions, events, and repeated brand visibility. And over time, the human brain naturally develops familiarity with institutions it repeatedly sees. This is called the mere exposure effect. The more students see a university consistently, the more trustworthy and credible it subconsciously feels. Which means institutions that stay invisible for most of the year enter the admission race too late. And by that time, students finally compare options seriously. Certain universities already own mental recall. That creates a dangerous compounding effect because once attention is lost, inquiry quality drops, campaign costs rise, competition becomes harder, and institutions are forced to spend more than just stay relevant. What we do instead is engineer long-term visibility positioning. We help institutions consistently stay in front of students before admission season even begins through strategic positioning, audience targeting, content visibility systems, attention building campaigns. So instead of competing only during admission season, your institute builds familiarity, trust, and authority continuously throughout the year. Now, most institutions make this mistake. They focus only on generating leads. But lead generation alone does not build sustainable admissions growth because leads are temporary, attention is temporary, campaign spikes are temporary. And when institutions rely on short term lead campaigns, every admission cycle starts from zero again, which creates higher dependency on paid ads, higher campaign fatigue, and rising acquisition costs every single year. Most institutions also ignore a critical psychological factor. Students do not trust institutions after seeing one advertisement. Trust is built through repeated interactions, through content consumption, student engagement, community participation, and continuous visibility over time. Which means institutions without engagement ecosystem struggle to create emotional connection with students. And without that emotional connection, conversions become significantly harder. What we do instead is combine performance marketing, strategic content creation, student engagement ecosystem, community driven campaigns, and continuous campaign optimization. So students don't just see your institution once, they continuously interact with your brand over time, which increases trust, engagement, inquiry intent, and long term admissions momentum. Now, most institutions make this mistake. They depend entirely on cold audience every admission season, which means every year they must rebuild visibility, trust, engagement, and restart attention from zero. But institutions that are continuously nurturing audiences build a massive long term advantage because over time their audiences become warmer, more familiar, and far easier to convert. This changes campaign economics completely because when students already recognize and trust your institution, ads perform better, campaign costs become more efficient, and inquiry intent increases. Admission pipeline become more predictable, which is why audience ownership becomes one of the most valuable long-term assets for educational institutions. Not just leads, not just clicks, but an engaged student ecosystem that compounds over time. What we do instead is help institutions build long-term demand ecosystem through community building systems, content ecosystems, audience nurturing, student engagement loops, and long-term visibility infrastructure. Now, if you're ready to scale admissions, improve visibility, create predictable inquiry pipelines, you can schedule a strategy call with someone from our team. This is a no pressure call. We'll analyze your current admission system, show you growth opportunities, identify campaign gaps, and explore ways to improve your inquiry generation. We'll also discuss timelines, strategies, and next steps. So if you're serious about scaling admissions, go ahead. Right below this video, click the link to book your strategy call. Fill out as much information as possible, and we look forward to speaking with you.